let's add some color to our application. And what we want to do first is define some colors and gradients that we want to use within our application. And we do that by going to the assets.xc assets folder. And here on the left, you've got some things that are already predefined. You have the app icon and you have the accent color. We want to add additional items to our assets that we can then reference in code. So down here on the bottom, you have this little plus button. So now we want to choose color set, and we're going to give this a name, gradient top. Next, let's show the inspector for this page that we're on in the assets. And the best way to do that is to click this top right button, and now we can see the inspector. And because we have gradient top selected, we see the properties that we can change, the inspector that we can change on this particular item. First thing we want to do is under appearances, we want to set to none so that we have one color that's used regardless of whether the user has set to dark or light or dark. And so we'll use none just because we have one that'll be used across all those appearances. Next, we'll select the color, and this is actually showing white. But if you select that, then you'll have some options down here under color so that we can set some values. Specifically, they're setting some values on the red, green, blue. And so if I double click, I can select that value and change it and set it to 0.852. And then if I press tab, it'll go to the next value for green. So I can say 0.646, press tab, and it'll go to the blue, and it'll say 0.847. Press tab, and now it is there. So that's the color that's defined by the tutorial. You can choose your own colors however you want. Let's add another color set. Go over here on the bottom left and choose the plus sign, color set, and we're going to call this gradient bottom. And with the inspector still open, we're going to set the appearance to none, and then I'm going to select the color, and in our case here we're going to say 0.954 for red, 0.5229. Oh, I got to read my numbers. 529 for green and 0.385 for blue. So those are our two colors. Let's go to our content view, and you can go ahead and close the inspector, so give yourself a little more room. We want to add a global property of gradient colors. And a global property, because we've set it at this content view, which is the parent or root of the view of the application, everything, all the child views will be able to access this property. So here at the top, we can create a property. We're going to say let, and then say gradient colors, and press colon, and then open bracket color, and then close bracket, and then equals, and then open bracket, and we're going to say dot gradient top, and then a comma, and then press return, dot gradient bottom. And so what we've done is we've created an array. So we've created a property called gradient colors, which is an array of type color. So everything here needs to be a type of color. And then we have the open brackets are designed to, they're shortcuts for creating an array. So now we have two items in our array, and we're using the camel case, so lowercase and then uppercase gradient top, and that's the name in the assets folder that we can access these as properties. So just keep that in mind when you create a property here, and then you want to reference that. You'll use the dot lowercase g in this case, and then t. So now we have these two colors. Now we want to add the gradient to the background of the tab view. So here at the tab view, just before the style, press return and we type background. And we're going to do a gradient. And gradient takes an array of colors. And so we'll pass in gradient colors. And now you see that we have in our app, we've got this background that has this gradient from top to bottom.